everyone, I'm Terry. You're watching Crafty Clefty. Thank you for joining me. And I made this little pencil or flower holder. If you like it, want to make one something similar, then stay tuned and watch the video. It's coming right up. Now, for this project, we're going to need a couple napkins, one ply, so just take it and divide it, just get the one ply off, and some napkins have 3 ply, so you gotta get it down to its single layer. And cut out some flowers and different things. Now I'm using black construction paper, 2 pieces. This is an old, I think a peanut can jar. And I'm going to put the construction paper on here. Or maybe I could just paint it black. Either one. Of course, you're going to need some Modgpoge to put this on. And right now, that's about it. And you may want some pretty decorations to put on also. So I will be right back once I get my table all set up. Okay, now what I'm doing here is I'm measuring from this middle part to this middle part. I'm going to take my paper, I'm putting it on the edge here, and I'm going to just mark this with a little tool. So this is the same width. And all the way around also, it's just going to be the same. Put it to the edge, to the edge. Edge inside the middle, and to the edge inside the middle. And I'm just taking and I am putting that down, and you can see my little cut. So now I'm going to show you how we're going to cut this. You can do it freehand with your scissors, or just do the fold method back and forth, and to get it really thin and just tear it. Or you can use what I'm going to use, and that will be I'm going to do some of this. Now, I've got this, and it's going to go in, and I'm going to line up the edge that I cut, that I kind of tore a little bit, with this notch here. There's a little notch here where it's going to cut. I gotta do both sides, and it's kind of hard to see. Okay, there's my notch. Gotta put it there, and I gotta find my other notch because it moved on me. So I got this notch and this notch. Hold it down tight. And let's see, this does not look even to me. Sometimes the bowl should be even. So just measure it again. And I'm thinking that I'm going to redo this and see if I did something wrong here. And I'm going to measure too. Now, get your line. Okay, I've already cut this, and it does fit. So, milk your line, and make sure that you're inside the crease, that little, and make sure the point is right there. And, okay, now, now, you got your point here, you're inside. So take your cutter and just cut. And you will have it even, and that will be even. Okay, I'm going to put this away. I'm going to use this. We're done with this. So, let's put it on here. We've got this. Goes all the way around. And I'm going to have to cut another small piece because it doesn't fit all the way around. So a small piece is going to have to be cut. And so I'm just going to cut now see if this will fit. The one I cut, the thin one. Measure this all the way. I'm not hanging on to this very good. And you see this, and that will fit. So all I have to do is cut this off. And I'm going to do that now. And a little bit more. A little bit more. At the edge. Now the scissors you have, sometimes you don't get it exact. Okay. So I think I'm going to start here and just put this on. And try to cover this up first. I'm going to put the glue on. Pin it like all the way around. Just like that. And just put it over this. That way we know it is on there. Nice. Now we're going to start with the other one. And you start, you overlap it. You put your glue on, overlap at the edge, and then go all the way around and just keep rolling. So that's what I'm going to do. Putting quite a bit of glue on over this, and just put it on, then just roll. Done, and then you just roll, and then you just keep adding your glue until you're all done. And make sure you're nice and even. So when you do this first part, roll it even though there's no glue. Make sure you're even. And then you glue your final part right there. Glue the whole thing, that final part. And then we're going to Modgpoge the napkin on. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you how to do the Modgpoge. I got my napkin. I'm getting this down to 1 ply. Really pull. And that to the side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down, and it's going to be like kitty cornered. And so I'm going to measure and see if the whole thing will fit, and it will, kitty corner style, and that's fine. And we're going to wait for some of this to dry so I can do a proper roll and proper measurement. So once this dries, we will measure this and then put glue all over here. Okay, now I'm measuring this. I've got this triangle. I've got this here like this, and then wrap this around here. I'm wrapping this around here, and the whole thing fits. Okay, and then Ross will get off with the standing block. So I am going to stand it upright and start painting on the Modgpoge. I'm going to do the whole thing this time, and it will be, when you do the edge, roll nice and all the way around. And then, okay, I'm going to work kind of fast. That way I can make sure the whole thing is covered and will still stick. So I'm going to get this done, and then I'm going to show you. Okay, it's all on. Now I'm making sure this is upright. Doing this up here. I'm going to set this down here. I'm going to move it up, all the way up. And do it like this. And I'll do this. Or like this. So this is going to be, you can double it however you want, or you can just cut if you want. And I think I may cut. And I'm going to get something to kind of help me get the wrinkles out. And then I'm going to cut maybe diagonally. Okay, now I got this cut. And let's see, you can see a little bit of the line. Well, no, here it is. And I cut a little too much off. And I am going to fix that. And here, basically just peel off. And I've got a whole bunch of things cut, so I am going to fix it. Oh my, okay. I gotta do more fixing than what I thought. Okay, cut. Now, just make it so that it's flat. And we will worry about this bottom part in a little while. And you can see the pattern on here. And we're going to place more on there. I got these little flowers cut out that we're going to put on here too to kind of highlight and to cover up underneath here little bare spots. So just keep pressing down and work it until you think it's all pressed down. And I'll be back. Okay, I think it's okay now. It's still a little wet, but I'm going to take this and put top to bottom, top to bottom. I'm going to get this nice and even. All the way. I want that nice and smooth down here. And also up here. Top, bottom, top. And you can see how that is. You can see the nice smooth edge. I'm going to do that all the way around. Okay, now you can see where the little things are on the bottom. So I am going to put more glue at the bottom. All the way over. And I think I'll just use this one. This will be over here. No, I'll use this one. It's more pink. Get the whole area. And just gonna put it on. And take it all the way up here. So there we go. There we go. And just try to dab that all down, get it nice and saturated, and just keep working. Where you have like a little one here, I am going to put a small one. And it should be a little pink one. Where it was. Put it down. And then just dab it. I do that all over. And now you can't see it. I'm going to keep doing that until I got the whole thing covered. Now I gotta get this and this covered. And I'll show you what it looks like. That's what it looks like. I gotta do some final touch-ups before we actually put the decorations on. And I have overlays. I've got flowers on top of flowers. So I'm going to let those dry completely. Sand it one last time for the edges. And then we will work on decoration just a little bit, top and bottom. Oh. Okay. Now this is from Dollar Tree. And put that away. And I cut 2 strands to the size it's supposed to be. So it'll fit all the way around. And I'm just going to start with the glue. This glue here. Get the little glue off the tip of it. Now, doesn't matter where you start, just start somewhere. And I am going to put a kind of a thick coat all the way around. Now I've got a thick coat of glue all the way around. And just take one end anywhere and just put at the top. And just let go of the top. And as you can see, I cut it to fit. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom. Okay, and get this to the top. As close to the edge, not over the edge. And I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom, and I will show you what it looks like before I start Modgpoging this whole thing. Now what I did here is it's still wet, wrapped this rope around the top and bottom for a more finished look. I may need another one to make it look even better. I put it inside that little lip inside all these cans have. So, yeah, just to cover up that little spot. I did some of the bottom too. And that's all I did to make it look more finished. You don't have to. So each one of these is going to look a little different depending on the flower pattern that you use. So, and depending on the background, whether you paint it, what color you paint it, or the construction paper that you put around, and that will also have an effect on the look. So, thank you for watching, and I still have to put the extra around, and I gotta seal it with the Modgpoge, the whole thing, and then I'll be done. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week with another project or something, and I will see ya. Bye bye.